of Elitzion V'Yareha. The kiddah that, in a sense, encapsulates everything that we've been trying to accomplish through last night, through the long morning, this morning. The words Elitzion V'Yareha sound tragic, sound sad, sound like full of despair. And yet, there's a custom that we have in our davening, on the Shalosh Regalim. When we get to the point in the Shemona Esrei, B'nei Veischa Kevatchila, so there's a custom many Chazonim have to say those words in the niggah at the beginning of the tune of Elitzion V'Yareha. There are some who, even when they say Chasal Sif the Pesach, at the end of the Seder also invoke the tune, the age-old tune of Elitzion V'Yareha. Because this kino, although it is the end of the kinos, it is the beginning of Geula as well. Mo'isha B'tzireha. Just as a woman who is suffering, or would listen to a woman in labor, delivery, would think it must be a tragedy that's happening, so much screaming, and so much pain, and so much crying, and yet everybody knows that Yetz Hashem doesn't help the child at the end of that suffering. And just as Elitzion V'Yareha, just as Klal Yisrael, and just as we call out and we cry out for all the sorrows that we have, somehow in the back of our mind we know that Mo'isha B'tzireha, that there is a hope, there is a future. And if we had to ask ourselves, what is that future? So of course the future in the fullest sense of the word is the Binyan Beis HaMikdash, Yivanim Heri Yameinu. But perhaps if we look at the Psukim in Kriya Shema, which already HaKadosh Baruch Hu told us years and years before of the Golus, the Golus is already foretold. The Psukim immediately following Churban and Golus, the Besamtim is Dvarayela, and the first mitzvah that Klal Yisrael, in a sense, is given after Golus once again, is the mitzvah of Hanochas Tefillin, Rukshayim, Yedchem. How appropriate it is that the first mitzvah that we're going to do, not that the Avelos of Tisha B'Av is over, but at least the first half of the Avelos Chatzos, where Tisha B'Av changes from a time of complete Bechiyah, of crying, to a time of Nechama. And the first mitzvah that we do after Chatzos is we put in our tefillin once again. Putting in our tefillin is our emunah, is our complete belief that the Beis HaMikdash will be rebuilt. How do we see that in our tefillin? We just take a look at the tefillin. It's hard not to see the similarity, to see the fact that Kadosh Baruch Hu has given each and every one of us in a small box of tefillin a mini mikdash. Even the tefillin themselves, full strange words to refer to as tefillin, we call them the batim, they're the houses. And what do they encapsulate? What is inside the bias? The words of the Torah Kedosha. Is that not the Beis HaMikdash? Is that not the bias which ultimately holds the Sefer Torah, holds the Luchos? Chazal tell us that the tefillin that are worn are the Shem Hashem that are on us, like the Kohen Gadol, there are in fact halachas that are based on this, like the Kohen Gadol has the Shem Hashem on him, each and every one of us has the Shem Hashem on us as well. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu was telling us, and giving us the opportunity once again to put back our tefillin, to begin our Talmud Torah in a few hours from now. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling us that we have the ability, in a sense, to rebuild the Mikdash, our Mikdash Ma'at, to rebuild the Bulvavi Mishkan Evneh, to rebuild the Mishkan in our own hearts and our own souls, and behind our own Gemaras, behind our Stenders, in our Divrei Torah. So too in that Chus, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will see our putting our tefillin back, but not just putting our tefillin back on. Putting on tefillin today is not the same tefillin we put on Friday, but it's a belief that this is going to be a rebuilding of our hearts and our souls, the beginning of our rebuilding, our chedek of the Beis HaMikdash, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will Yetz Hashem follow suit. I just want to conclude with one very short story. I think I told it on the call several years ago. There's a lot of new faces. But I think perhaps the small story can put into perspective the Golos and the Churban and the Tzaros, but really the future of Klal Yisrael. With a strange occurrence, it was back about almost 15 years ago, I ended up stuck in Rome. We had it down in Shacharis, a few hours we were there, some trouble on the plane, we had to make a landing, we got the details. Bottom line is that I stuck with a group of other Bachrim from Yeshiva with me, and some other people on the plane as well. And we had it down in Shacharis on Sunday morning in Rome. And we walk over to a corner, the airport in Rome, putting on our towels, putting on our tefillin, and all of a sudden we were surrounded by a group of Roman Italian policemen. And we got a little bit nervous. We thought maybe we were in some kind of a law, we're not allowed to pray in public, we didn't know what was the matter. And then we understood what was going on. They had come to encircle us, to protect us, to make sure that nobody should start up with us. They saw a group of Jews praying in the corner in the middle of Europe, New Italy, just to make sure that nobody finds us. And at the moment, I couldn't believe the significance, the symbolism of what was taking place. And I've made it my business to tell it over every year on Tisha B'Av. Who are we and who are them? The Roman policemen, the Roman guards, the Roman soldiers, these are no doubt the great-great-great-great-grandsons of Titus HaRasha, of those who had destroyed the Beis HaMikdash, those we spoke about in the Kiddos. And who are we? We, the Yeshiva Bachrim, who are putting on our tefillin. Yes, in the streets of Rome, we're putting on our tefillin, and the circle is almost complete. That the Romans, the ones who had destroyed and everything they stood for, destroyed the Beis HaMikdash, we're now coming to stand and protect Jews to be able to put on tefillin. Hopefully that'll be just a small symbolism of the day to come. The pasuk that Chazal described, particularly about tefillin, when the day will come when the Beis HaMikdash will be rebuilt. So it will be a great simcha, not only for us, but the entire world will realize so as the words of Elitzio Me'arah, yes, we end the mourning, we end the crying, but the minhag Yisrael is that this is the one tefillah that we say standing up, because this is the transformation, this is the beginning of the next step. Hopefully, the end of Galus should be the beginnings of the Ula.